I thought that'd be a little awkward, you know, like, is this a cat video or is this a speakeasy?
Yeah, no, you didn't like my suggestion of the button that Ferlinghetti was wearing? Fuck art, let's dance.
Well, it didn't really fit my video. All right. So I think we're pretty close to live. Let's see.
Yeah, it says we're live.
Okay, cool.
Can you tell?
So this video, so I'm gonna mute everybody so that we won't have, and I have to mute my video too, but so basically James helped me come up with the name of this video. Basically, I've always been kind of a homebody, so you know, I like to stay home, and if I don't get at least one day at home to do things, I get kind of restless and kind of anxious about it. So I decided what I would do. I saw this really cool video of this young girl. She was doing the same movements and kind of bridging into the next movement while the scenery changed behind her. So she edited them together. And I thought, ooh, what an interesting idea. And you know how my house is built almost railroad style, so that I have doorways everywhere. So what I did was I thought, let me use those doorways as bridges and take different rooms and different, you know, film from different spaces, but do some of the same material and play with that instead of always filming in the big room, which I use as my dance room. So I thought I would just, you know, try and mix it up a little bit and film all the way around the house. So we ended up coming up with the title of Homebody Dancing Around the House. So homebody seemed to be a good, hey, you made it, yay, just in time for the first video. I was just explaining, I'm gonna show the dance called Homebody Dancing Around the House, and I'm dancing around my house. So let me go ahead and mute myself.
day.
Thanks, guys. So that was kind of fun.
That was great.
That was called Homebody Dancing Around the House. And I had fun putting that one together. So Karen, why don't you go ahead and read us a poem?
Okay, I'm going to read one that's a little long, not too long, and one that's a little short, pretty short. Okay, and both of them are old poems that I have recently revised. I put them away and forgot about them for a long time. This first one is a little difficult and a little weird. It's a true story. LPN, I refer to LPN, which is Licensed Practical Nurse, which is an old designation that people used to do, primarily women, where they didn't go to nursing school, but they got this training a little bit to help out the nurses. Gertrude. Down the dark, narrow hallway, through the heavy door with opaque glass above it, into the small, windowless room, lit only by a ceiling bulb with a pleated shade, hanging over an enormous bed, which filled the entire area except for flanking cabinets. Gertrude, my babysitter, brought me secretly, a child of 10, to see her private space, a rented room above the Fargo Theater. Mysterious, scary, intriguing. Opening the cabinets, armoires, as she called them, this woman, so familiar to me, pendulous breasts, generous hips, a pretty, fleshy face, placed gown after beribboned gown on the bed's sprawling lavender satin coverlet. My eyes lingered on all hues from peach, apricot, pinks from pale to fuchsia. My pudgy fingers carefully patted frilly fabrics, stroked black garters with florid rosettes. Slipping my hand between diaphanous layers, I felt them fold gently around the outline of my own curious little girl palm. The single bulb watched, an overhead voyeur. We never told anyone or spoke of this again. For years, I wondered, where could she wear them? This babysitter, sometime nanny, so proud of being an LPN, she who lived with the families for whose children she cared, but who said, with the grace of a hostess, "This is my room." This woman on whose squishy bosom my child's head so often rested, comforted. I grew too old for a babysitter, lost touch with her. Cancer found those yielding mammaries and ate them. The other poem, I saw a photograph in Guadalajara in 1974. The title was Un Día Sin Te, A Day Without You. It was a photograph of a water scene, the sky the same color as the water, the horizon line obscured, a small boat without anybody in it sat on the horizon. Un día sin te. Sometimes after the rain, I sense I can still see the rain moving as if solid through the air. Or perhaps it is the air that is solid like shards, congealed splinters moving itself through itself, invisible, immaterial. If I reach out into the air, Could I grab slivers? If you are air, will we touch? Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Karen. That was great.
Those are poems about loss. Nothing happened between Gertrude and me. She just wanted me to see. And of course, I mean, her other job, we know what it was, but she didn't talk about that. But she wanted me to see all of these beautiful night clothes, this lingerie, and it was like a feast. But she didn't touch me. There was nothing sexual between us. And I loved her. And I always thought that was so mysterious. And we just didn't talk about it, and we didn't tell anybody. I don't know if my mother or father even knew she had this room.
So I'm going to launch, I'm going to launch Lucia's video. And she unfortunately had to work tonight. This is the next dance thing. But she says that the piece, it's called Veil Dance, and it's inspired by the new year and looking forward. So that's always a good thought. So
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll share the screen so you can see it. And I've got my audio and video. All right, here we go.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. That's really beautiful. Huh. Actually, those marvelous cloths, you know, attached to the fans, and their movement in color against, you know, the industrial windows and all like that. It's really beautiful. Yeah. Kelly's there somewhere. Kelly Donovan, where are you? Well, in case anyone's wondering, and you're probably not, I'm not actually, of course, in front of Jamaica Pond at the moment. That's just a picture of it behind me. Could change it. Hang on. It's another very nice one. Here we are. Yes, there we go. Yeah, rhododendron garden on the emerald necklace. Yeah.
So go ahead and take us away with some poetry, David.
Oh, okay. Take you away. Well, I don't.
I was talking to you and I realized I was muted.
Yeah, right. Okay. It's okay. I was
All
just.
Right, it's on.
Nature abhors a vacuum, so I just started talking anyway. Well, thank you.
Good.
I also have two poems. Neither of them very, very long, actually, but here we go. So the first one is titled, this first poem actually is of the sort of almost genre of if you could go back in time, then what? Okay, so it's titled, What You Should Do Next is Exactly What You Did. Unfortunately, younger self, if I were to tell you that you have only to survive 5 years between the night the floor fell away beneath your first marriage and the day you will meet her at last, if I counsel endurance and you believe me, then it's all too possible you won't find yourself semi-lunatic with loneliness, won't erupt a babbling breakdown during play rehearsal, won't finally turn to a Wiccan therapist whose best treatment, you discover, isn't her hypno sessions or the affirmation tapes you soak up on your way to sleep, but her tricking you into writing personal ads and reading them. And if you don't do all that, you will never meet the love of your life. Take that cliche seriously because those are the stakes. Therefore, I'm afraid you must remain unknowing and miserable for the time being. I won't tell you anything. And then this second one runs back in time a little further yet, and the title of this poem also turns out to be the first line, for what that's worth. Okay. Have I told you, when I crashed on the floor of your dorm room and you said, I wish you were a girl, while we were both snug in our hetero skins, so I replied, or maybe you could be? And you went, huh, and dropped the subject. This was, I think, the start of the end of the friendship, though I tried to drag it on for 2 or 3 years, not admitting the fact that we were both getting a little sick of the whole pretense. That's it. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm feeling a little technically challenged today, so I apologize. I went ahead and put the donation information in the chat, and I'm also going to put the information about tarot readings. I'm still doing 2021 tarot readings, so feel free to stick on the Zoom afterwards if you'd like a tarot card reading. So the next and last group tonight is a group from New York, and they are performing. They're called the Guilty Pleasure Cabaret, which is like so perfect for the speakeasy. I love it. And they're dressed up in the 20s gear and everything. And they sent me a video, which I'm going to screen share with you. They do have